But one thing that's been super helpful in overcoming my fears is naming it out loud. So most times our fears are this mental image or these thoughts in our mind, and if we just name it out loud, we can realize how stupid these fears are. And fear comes from the German word Fahre, which means danger. And so you're just thinking and picturing a dangerous situation that hasn't happened but could potentially happen, that you've just made up in your mind. And our mind's really good at creating fake stories. And so when you label these stories and say it out loud, you can kind of realize how stupid this story is. So one day I was in my car and I drove to a park to go see my mate. And at the park there was a soccer field, and some kid kicked the ball over the fence. And the ball was coming towards my car. And I decided not to get out the car because I didn't want the kid to see me. And so I realized this, and I just started naming the fear. I realized that I was scared of getting out of the car because I didn't want the kid to see me. And so naming that fear made me realize how stupid it was. So I just took action, got out of the car and went to see my mate. And so realizing how stupid your thoughts and potential visual images you're seeing of a dangerous situation that really aren't that dangerous, kind of naming that fear allows you to realize how stupid it is, and you can go take action, because it's just a fake story your mind's making up to protect you, but really you're strong, you can handle it. And so once I was working at a job that I really hated, but the worst case scenario for me was getting fired. I was fearful of getting fired, and eventually, because I hated the job so much, I did get fired, and I was faced with the worst case scenario. But what I realized is that I was in the same position before I had even started the job, even after facing the worst fear, or even facing the worst case scenario. And so now you know that your fears are usually just a made up story trying to protect you, or even if it is a true story, you can handle the worst case scenario. So what's some actionable steps that you can take? So one thing that's really helped me that I've learned is naming the fear. So when, like that situation where I was in my car, I just named the fear out loud, or name the fear loud in your head, put the fear into words, and then you just ask yourself, is this stupid? Is this thought stupid I'm having? And potentially it is. Potentially it is justified as well. If you are fearful of getting rejected or getting fired, you also got to realize, can I handle the worst case scenario? You probably can. If you're faced with this scenario, you'll realize that you're in the same position as you were before, except you've got lessons now. So the first actionable step, if you're having a negative thought, say it out loud, label it, and then ask yourself, is this stupid? And you'll usually find out that it is. So the first action step is naming the fear out loud. Put that thought or that visual image into words and say it out loud, or say it aloud in your head. Then you got to ask yourself, is this stupid? And if it is, then go take action, because it's usually just your brain trying to protect you with some sort of thought, but oftentimes that thought isn't helpful for your situation that you're dealing with. So that's the first action step. Now the second action step is, if you do face the worst case scenario, is having confidence that you can deal with it. And so confidence comes from the word confide, which means having full trust. So you got to have full trust in yourself that you can deal with the worst case scenario. So when I got fired from my job, I had to realize that I have full trust that I can deal with this worst case scenario. And the way I dealt with it is figuring out what lessons I can learn. What can I take from this? And realizing that I'm in the same scenario as I was before I started the job, except now I have lessons. I've also got nothing to lose. And so go out and try and make things happen. Having confidence in yourself, having full trust in your ability to handle the worst case scenario. So those are the two action steps from today's video. Name your fears out loud and realize how stupid they are sometimes. And second, if you do face the worst case scenario, you can handle it. Have full trust in your ability to handle it. Have confidence in yourself. Now I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned some lessons from today. I've tried to build trust in myself, and now I have trust in you to try and handle your fears as well. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video.